Okay, so task 3, we're almost there, almost done. Let me share this. For your content, just a couple notes. The rubric says about picking the PLC team that you're using for this process and the action plan and the gaps. And I would just say go a little bit more in depth about how you develop that team, why you pick the people you pick. Maybe not too specific, just in general, why, who, that kind of thing. And also in the table, the action plan template table at the bottom, I would, if you're not going to use the assessments, I would take those out just because that gives you a little bit more room on your table that you can write stuff in. That's what I did with mine because I didn't really have any assessments in my action plan either. So I just took those 2 columns out and it gives me a little bit more room to type in more detail about the other things. Also, your template in your table, it was all red. Just make sure you make that black. Otherwise, all your content looked really well aligned with expectations of the rubric and what it was asking for. Your strength is your data and your meeting. You had your photographs, you had the tables. It was all very clearly organized. And then you did a really good job of identifying your gaps with your best practice research and what needed to be fixed. The only weakness I saw, and I know this is in my paper as well, so I've paid more attention to it, but the technology, it says multiple uses of digital tools. And if you, I don't know if it shows up or not, but in the rubric, it says multiple use of digital tools and/or technology are constantly evident and effective. And that's for accomplished, but even just for proficient, multiple use of digital tools and/or technology are evident. And really the only thing I saw in your paper that showed any technology use was in the picture. You could see that you guys were using a laptop. So maybe just explain that a little bit more in your narrative. If you use Google Forms to do your survey or that kind of thing. Like I said, I know that's a weakness in my paper as well, so I have to work on that too. But maybe just consider, like I said, making that technology use a little bit more evident. Leadership, it's really clear that you led your PLC team with the data. Your data was very well put together and organized. You could tell you spent time doing that. And it was very clear that you led them in creating that action plan and those steps that followed along with that. I didn't see any grammar errors. It was written professionally, but I know this one was supposed to be in more of a narrative form, which isn't what we've been doing, but you seem to do a really good job with that. Your tables and figures, I would just check back with APA format because I always feel like, and I may be wrong, but I always feel like that the the explanation, the labels for the tables and the figures and a little bit of explanation comes after the tables and the figures, not before. And then just make sure that all your fonts are times. I did see 1 or 2 areas around the top and in your header and stuff that weren't times. They were that default word font, whatever that is. So just make sure they're in times. Overall, I know you said it was a really rough draft, but I felt like you did a really good job. And I also found some things in your paper that made me realize some things I needed to fix in mine. If you have any questions, just let me know. Sorry.